So I wanted to make a video today, kind of explain why I decided to buy a Harley Davidson Pan America. When I first started riding motorcycles, the idea of an ADV bike really resonated with me. It really did. I like the idea of traveling on two wheels, being able to go wherever you want to go, like on any roads like this. This is just a fire road. It's a road. It's an unpaved road, but the bike that's capable of doing it, having a bike that can take tires that are capable of doing it. I don't know. This is where I like to be. And so I kind of kept that in mind when I was looking for a bike, looking for a bigger bike, because I wanted something that I can go more places on. I spent a lot of time before I got into riding doing bicycle touring. So I'd load up a mountain bike with all the camping gear, and we'd just go and do a couple of overnighters, do a big long trip. And I really enjoyed it. And a majority of those rides were fire roads. And so I was realistic of like, I'm not going to take it on single track very much. I mean, it can. I'm not very good at it, but it can do it. But it's not what it was meant for. I don't think. I mean, not unless you're a super talented rider. I think the bike's great for roads like this. There's still roads. I don't call these off-road. I just call them off pavement. But they have potholes in them. They got rocks sticking out. They got roots. They can be muddy. They can be slippery. Like today, it's a little chilly. So there is ice on the road, but this is where I wanted the bike to go. This is where I enjoy going. So when the Harley Davidson released the Pan America, it really stuck out to me. I loved the way that it looked. It looked way better in person than it did online. It had that tech that I know could be very beneficial to me, being new to off-road riding or off-pavement riding. The advanced rider modes would definitely help me out, and they have. They really do tone the dirt down. Now you can turn all that off. Like it has the off-road plus, you can turn the traction control off, and it just becomes a giant dirt bike. I have yet to use that. I'm sure it's useful in climbing crazy hills, going through water crossings, things like that. I haven't really had to use it very much because the regular off-road mode has been more than capable. I mean, it keeps me upright. It's still a little squirrely when you want it to be, and I don't know. I think they did a great job with how they tuned the different modes on this bike. So rider modes were something that kind of stuck out that I wanted on the bike. And I did have the idea of going places, of doing big long trips, of loading the bike up with a bunch of camping gear and just basically getting lost. Now recently, in the past year or so, they just released the BDR NorCal, which is right next to me. I can be on a section of the BDR probably in about an hour. So it's a real accessible ride to me. It's something that, it's on the list of things to do. I'm a normal person. I work on the weekdays. I have my weekends off. And I guess that's something that I really considered when buying an ADV bike. That's all ice. I'm stupid. Yeah, that's one thing I needed to consider when buying an ADV bike, is what I was really going to use it for. And yeah, these small little weekend micro adventures are where it was at for me. Finding these dirt roads, kind of getting lost. We have tons of these roads out here in the part of California where I'm at. We're just in the foothills of the Sierra Mountains, and there's roads like this everywhere, and they're fun roads. It can be torn up at times, so yeah, having a bike that's capable of dealing with that is kind of a major thing to me. But I mean, like today, I work tomorrow. Like, I gotta be at work in the morning. I can't go out and do a big long trip all the time. And I think that's the majority of people. So the bike's great for everyday riding. You know, I take the bike out after work most of the time. I almost always take it out on the weekends. The bike hardly sits a day without being ridden, just because I love riding bikes. I mean, it doesn't have to be this bike. I love riding bikes. This is what I do for fun. This is what I do to enjoy myself. And it's just that extra added when you're out there, out here. I guess just consider what you're really going to use the bike for. You know, if you want it to be capable of doing long distance, this can. If you want it to do distance on the highway, it can. You want to do distance on dirt roads, it can. It can really do any road. Now, I know they're doing work on the road today, so I don't want to go too quick, because I don't want to run into these guys. They're just putting gravel down in potholes. So I was out here yesterday, just kind of mobbing through some of the dirt and the mud and everything like that. And yeah, I noticed this morning that my radiator was getting a little clogged with dirt and mud, and it was running a little hot. So, little tip, just rinse out your radiator. Just make sure the fans are free and they're not clogged up. Imagine that, it helps cool the bike down when the radiator can breathe. Just keep that in mind if you're like me and like to go get dirty. I guess I could talk about the looks of the bike. You know, another reason why I decided to get it is I really like the way this bike looked. As vain as that sounds, I like the way the bike looked. It doesn't look like a GS. It doesn't look like every other adventure bike, because to me, they all look the same or similar. And I like weird things. So when this came out, I really liked the look of it, how they didn't make it look like your typical adventure bike per se, and they still kept that look of the Harley, and I loved that. I thought it was so cool, the little shark face that it has, and I love this bike. I also played around with my suspension a little bit, my suspension adjustments. This is the standard Pan America, so I don't have the automatic adjusting suspension. I don't want a fancy suspension. So I had to tune it, you know, preload and compression, rebound, all that stuff. So I played around with the settings a little bit, so that's kind of why I'm out here. That's why you see me hitting a lot of these little potholes. I'm testing my suspension, leave me alone. I'm really just having fun. Don't get really, people. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. If you have any questions, put a comment down below. I'll try and answer them as best that I can. So, alright, laters. Oh, cold fingers. Cold fingers. Skirt. I really don't want to go to work tomorrow. I just want to do this. I want to do this and have fun. But life, so meh.